In today's Leeds news, Farke trusts academy over free agents. Fixtures moved for TV again. Schmidt gets his first international call-up. Ampadu injury update. And the youth could save 49ers a fortune. Morning folks, Jay here at The View on Friday the 14th of March with your Leeds United news. Hope your week's gone really well for you so far. There's a little bit of stuff to get stuck into. It's a Friday, it's quiet, and we've had a game week, which always limits the amount of information coming out of the club around Leeds United. Just a quick update, there won't be a big upstream tomorrow, I'm away, but there will be a warm-up video out either late tonight or first thing in the morning, and you can check that out for all of your data and statistics leading into the game against QPR, the last one before the international break. Also, the question of the day is down below if you want to get stuck into that as well. But we'll start off and we'll talk about Daniel Farke trusting the youth academy over bringing in any free agents at this point of the season. Daniel Farke says he won't be dipping into the free agent market even if Leeds have an emergency situation between now and the end of the campaign, and instead has talked up the club's academy as an area he would trust should Leeds have problems. Farke earlier this year brought in Josh Gilavogi on a free transfer to help with the situation around Leeds' midfield problems, with Ilya Gruev and Ethan Ampadu both being out injured, but Farke says he won't be doing it again this year. Sam Chambers and Harry Gray have both been training with the Leeds United first team, and Chambers has been in and out of the matchday squads over the course of this season. Farke said if the club does have an emergency situation, that they won't be going into the free market for any players, saying the following. So if there was an absolute emergency case, then I would trust our academy products. They are quite often in training and are edging closer. Touch wood, it is not a situation where we have to think about something like this, but in this case I would rather give a young lad a go instead of doing something crazy and mad on the free agent market. Farke says that he trusts the Leeds United Academy and the current prospects that are there. There's a lot of very interesting and potentially very good prospects in the under-21s and under-18s this season, but we've got more information on that later on in the news, and we'll talk about that in a couple of seconds. But let's move on and talk about the fixtures being moved, and in news that will surprise absolutely no one, as a tweet from Leeds read yesterday, Leeds have had another fixture moved for television. Leeds have confirmed that a third game in April has now been confirmed for TV, and Leeds' clash at home to Preston will now be a 12:30 kickoff on April 12th. This is the 14th 12:30 kickoff that Leeds have had this season, compared to Sheffield United, who've only had 7. Leeds have had 3 games, as I say, moved so far in April. The promotion rivals Burnley and Sheffield United have yet to have any games in April moved at all. And Daniel Farke has said that he is not happy about the amount of 12:30 kickoffs, especially in a 3-day week. It was shared yesterday on our live stream last night. I'll have paraphrased the information, but Leeds' recovery time between games is calculated at an estimate of about 76 hours between games, whereas Sheffield United are up around 110 hours between games, and Burnley in 86 to 89 hours as well. So you can see by that Leeds have significantly less recovery time between games as than their promotional rivals have, which isn't exactly an even playing field when you're coming and talking about a promotion race and a club trying to get out of this division. And conspiracy theories can run wild on this one now, but it's, as I said last night, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. But we'll have to see if we can navigate these 12:30s. They haven't been great for Leeds this season. We've dropped more points from 12:30s than any other kickoff time. So again, you can read into that what you want when it comes to the EFL. Moving on, let's talk about Isaac Schmidt, and he has received his first international call-up to the Swiss national side, despite the fact that he has barely featured for Leeds United this season. Schmidt was a notable absence from the Leeds United squad against Millwall, but information that came out after the game that was shared said that Schmidt was unwell, and that was the only reason he missed out, nothing to do with any footballing reasons. Schmidt has also just played 26 minutes of football this season in the Championship for Leeds United, and is more a victim of circumstances than any football-related reasons. Schmidt has had to deal with Jayden Bogle and Junior Firpo both playing in front of him, and both of them have been in outstanding form for Leeds United this season. But Swiss manager Mert Yakin has included Schmidt, and he says he wants to trial alternative options and players from the national pool during this set of friendly internationals that they have. Junior Firpo and Isaac Schmidt are the only two that are going off an international to play friendlies. Everybody else is going off to take part in World Cup qualifiers, but you would hope there's some smart heads made on this one that he plays a game and maybe comes back. Same with Junior Firpo. He has 2 games against the same side, Puerto Rico. So you would imagine once they've played the first game of Puerto Rico, he comes straight back to Leeds and avoids any injuries. But it's a strange situation letting players go for international friendlies when we have a very important run in ahead of us with just 9 games to go. And in that 9 games, we might see a return of a player. And let's talk about Ethan Ampadu. And Leeds took the gamble to avoid surgeries for Ethan Ampadu that would very likely have finished his season. Instead, they went for the alternative therapy option, which may give him some chance of playing again before the end of the campaign. But that's not necessarily a guarantee. Daniel Farke has now shared an update on Ethan Ampadu's situation and when we can expect to see him back in action for the club. Farke was upbeat and positive about how the alternative therapy rehab is going so far and is very happy with the progress that Ampadu is making, and shared that he's already back on the grass doing some work. And on the topic and on the injury, he said the following: "It looks really good. He's doing some rehab work on the pitch in football boots, not just running. We hope on the other side of the international break he will join us in team training. Then we will see how long he needs to get match sharp. Ethan doesn't need too many sessions. He could be there for the last 5 or 6 games. It would be a major boost if we had our captain back." Farke did say the word "if" quite a lot in that statement, and that's clearly and purely down to the fact that if the alternative rehab doesn't work, Ethan Ampadu will still require surgery, and that will then likely finish his season completely. But this is really positive news to hear, and the fact that he's on the pitch and not just doing running, so he's involved in some active work there as well, is a really good boost for Leeds, and hopefully we'll get our captain back on the park to help out with that running, just in case there should be any knocks to Joe Rodon, Pascal Struijk or anybody else in the midfield. So yeah, the more bodies we have at this point of the season, the better. Let's move on and talk about the final story of today. And this relates to the youth academy at Leeds United that could save the 49ers a considerable amount of money in the future. And Daniel Farke has taken time this week to praise the Leeds youth system and what's coming through, and believes it could save the club a huge amount of money in the future. Farke says that Sam Chambers has a bright future at the club and has no hesitation in trusting him should he need to throw him into the firing line. Chambers made his official debut for Leeds United in the FA Cup clash against Millwall. He scored in a pre-season game against Harrogate Town and has been a regular on the bench on and off this season for the first team. Chambers signed a new 3-year deal at the club that will run until 2028 on his 18th birthday, so a pretty decent day for him all around. And Farke says Chambers can play a big role for the club and possibly lessen the need for the 49ers ownership to spend big money. And on Chambers and this topic, Farke said the following: "Perfect day for Sam, also his birthday. I like him a lot. I believe in him. He's developed so much. No coincidence that he got his first start against Millwall, and also first appearance at championship level several times in the squad. The new contract is not a gift. We believe he can play a role for us in the future. It's a cornerstone of our philosophy that we want to develop our own players. We can't always spend lots of money and buy players. We want to develop players." Perfect news for him. Perfect news for us. The sooner Leeds can confirm promotion, should that be what happens, I don't want to jump the gun too much, I get pulled up on that one again, then it could be a situation where we see the likes of Sam Chambers and the other young players, maybe Harry Gray, even get some minutes on the park towards the end of the season once Leeds are confirmed as been promoted, if they get to that point. And let's get past QPR the weekend first, and then move the international break to regroup, and then 8 games remaining of the run, and see if Leeds can finally get over the line and pull and open a gap between first and third place. First and second looks after itself. Eventually we'll get a gap bigger and bigger to third place. Burnley, who did have the suspension of Keane Egan Riley overturned, and he will be available for them now for their next 3 games, unfortunately for us, because he would be a big player for them to lose. No update on whether Scott Parker's red card has been rescinded or not, but we'll keep an eye on that situation over the next couple of weeks. Anyway, folks, that'll be it for me today. Keep an eye out for the warm-up video, and you can check out last night's review of the Millwall game plus the preview of QPR all in one stream with Ben Locke from Lockie Leeds and Paul from Leeds Therapy. That is available on the channel. I will see you tomorrow in the warm-up, and then back on Monday for the news. Talk to you then. Enjoy your weekend. See you soon. Bye.